Lala.
Ano na naman ang ginawa mo?
Hello,
Yun, no?
magandang
Oh.
hapon sa inyong lahat.
Yes, good afternoon, attorney.
Ayan. Good afternoon at
Yan mo
magandang
lang.
hapon sa inyong lahat na nanonood.
Yun. So, marami tayong audience. So, as usual, we do our regular commentary on the press briefing that happens in Malacanang right after the event. And medyo exciting itong nangyari ngayon. Attorney, bigyan mo nga ng intro.
Oo, napakaganda. Itong nangyari ngayon ay press briefing on specifically on what happened yesterday or last night na
kagabi.
nalaman ng ating presidente na meron palang order, authorization to import 300 ba yan? 300 metric tons
300 metric
of
tons.
sugar.
That's 300,000 kilos. Okay.
Malaki-laking pera yan. Nagagastusin ng ating bansa out of our budget para bayaran yung importation na yan ng bigas, ng asukal.
Sugar,
Asukal. Napag-alaman na hindi naman pala authorized yung importation na yan. Hindi authorized ng presidente sapagkat ang presidente ang chairman ng Sugar Regulatory Agency o Board na siyang mag-authorize noon. Hindi pala dumalo doon ng presidente dahil hindi niya alam na may meeting. Pero ang meeting na yon ay nagdulot ng isang resolution na nag-authorize na mag-import nga ng sugar. So ngayon ang tanong sino pumirma? At kung sino man yung pumirma na yan, valid ba yung kanyang pirma and therefore legal ba yung resolution to authorize the import of sugar. Malalaman natin dito sa press briefing ng ating press secretary. Cruz-Angeles.
I-play na ba natin yan? Simulan na natin. Okay, ito ay fast play. Matindi tong press briefing na to, hindi to wala tong
Pero maikli lang to.
pakeme-keme.
Maikli lang to siya.
Magandang umaga. Yesterday, a resolution was uploaded on the website of the Sugar Regulatory Administration, purportedly coming from the Sugar Regulatory Board. Resolution number 4 authorized the importation of 300,000 metric tons of sugar on top of what had already been imported in May of this year. This resolution is illegal. The chairman of the Sugar Regulatory Board is President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. As such chairman, he sets the date of any meetings or convening of the Sugar Regulatory Board and its agenda. No such meeting was authorized by the President, nor such a resolution, likewise, was not authorized. It appears that the resolution was signed for and on behalf of the President by Undersecretary Leocardio Sebastian. He was not authorized to sign such a resolution because the President did not authorize the importation. Importations are a sensitive matter, particularly with regard to agricultural importations. Sugar is one such importation which we take great care with. It is a balancing act. The importation has to be carefully studied to protect both the consumer against the rising prices of basic commodities while ensuring at the same time that we do not destroy the local industry. As such, the only response to the query on whether or not an importation was to be made, the President answered, the President did not assent, and it was the Executive Secretary who issued the order to create an importation plan. It was therefore clear that there is no authorization for the importation of these 300,000 metric tons. An investigation is ongoing to determine whether any acts that would cause the President to lose trust and confidence in his officials can be found, or if there is malice or negligence involved. In such a case, if such findings are made, then the only determination left will be how many heads are going to roll. We'll take your questions with the understanding that since this is an ongoing investigation, then we can only limit our answers to those that will not affect the fairness of such an investigation.
First question, Jinky Badicados, IBC.
Hi,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am. Good morning po.
Magandang
Ma'am,
umaga.
since the President has now thumbed down this particular proposal of importation of sugar, in the event that there is an insufficient supply of sugar in the country, what will the administration do po?
The Department of Agriculture has indicated the allegedly critical levels of sugar. However, we are also approaching harvest season. This is why the importation calls for a balancing act. Will such importation affect the harvest and the prices of our local growers? In the absence of such a determination, then we cannot issue the resolution should not have been issued with such haste as it appears to have been made.
Oh, attorney, may audio ba tayo? Anong reaction mo dyan sa unang issue about the question whether we have a shortage right now?
Okay. Itong munang let's set parameters no sa reaction na video na to. We are not reacting or saying stuff or commenting on the truth of what Attorney Trixie is saying, because it should be taken for themselves, as themselves, if they are true or not, considering that it's her office that is saying this. So our questions would be limited on what questions, our comments would be limited on what questions are being asked, how they are asked, how the secretary is answering them, as part of our discussion on mass communication, on the stuff that we do when we communicate with the public, especially when it is the public and the government that are concerned. Okay? This has nothing to do with that kung totoo ba yan o sinungaling ba itong gobyerno o ano, but we will talk about what kind of questions, the assumptions that are made in asking those questions and framing those questions and all that stuff. Right? So that's clear. Okay, ang unang question, ulitin natin ng konti. Pwede bang ulitin to?
Sige, go ahead.
Yan.
So,
Ma'am, follow-up lang. Paano po yung mga pag-search ng
Follow-up.
prices ng sugar?
Follow-up na
Paano
agad.
i-address?
Like we said,
Hindi, i-rewind
it is a
mo.
matter of a balancing act. Now, we just imported last May.
Eh,
Now, we have to
ha?
determine if another importation
I-rewind mo ba?
supposedly to address an
Oo nga,
investigation.
ikaw yata ang
Ayan,
did not
sa unang
Okay,
question.
okay. Wala kang control
answer.
pala.
The
Sorry.
President,
Yeah.
Wala.
did not assent. And it was the executive secretary who issued the order to
No, wala.
create an importation
Rewind pa,
plan.
rewind pa.
Hindi, tama yan.
It was therefore clear that there is no authorization for the importation of these 300,000 metric tons. An investigation is ongoing to determine whether any acts that would cause the President to lose trust and confidence in his officials can be found, or if there is malice or negligence involved. In such a case, if such findings are made, then the only
Kalahati na to eh.
determination left
Tama yan.
Jeff, kalahati
Wag mo
na
nga.
to. Tingnan mo.
Kaya nga, tama yan. Just go ahead.
Yan. Sa unang
Just
question
play it.
pa lang yung i-comment ko.
Kaya nga,
Okay.
just play it. Okay.
Sige.
will be how many heads are going to roll. We'll take your questions with the understanding that since this is an ongoing investigation, then we can only limit our answers to those that will not affect the fairness of such an investigation.
First question, Jinky Badicados, IBC.
Hi,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am. Good morning po.
Magandang
Ma'am,
umaga.
since the President has now thumbed down this particular proposal of importation of sugar, in the event that there is an insufficient supply of sugar in the country, what will the administration do po?
Okay. First question. Comment natin. thumbed down. The president, sabi nung reporter, the president has thumbed down. Ibig sabihin na dinisapprove niya. Okay? Ang sumunod niyang tanong ay ang sinabi ay nag-state siya ng presumption or assumption or hypothetical situation. Sinabi niya, in the event na merong shortage ng sugar, okay, ano ang plano ng gobyerno?
Okay, where is she coming from? This is where she's coming from.
Yes.
Right?
So we are now looking at ano ang basis nitong kanyang question. Okay, ano ang basis ng kanyang question? Kasi
So,
for a person to ask what happens when there is a shortage, considering that the president thumbs down this importation. Okay, suriin natin, alin ba dapat ang mauuna? Ang pagkaalam natin na merong shortage bago mag-approve or mag-disapprove ng importation, o mag-i-import lang tayo na mag-i-import, at kung i-disapprove ng presidente, tatanungin natin anong mangyayari kung may shortage. Because ang intindi natin is that sa introduction ni Attorney Trixie Cruz-Angeles na there is care being observed by the government before
to maintain the prices.
Yes, before it decides to import sugar, because there are many considerations, and two of them would be that kailan ba mag-harvest yung ating local planters ng sugar nila dito sa Pilipinas, at pangalawa, kung ito bang importation na to will affect that harvest, okay, or that the proceeds of the sale after that harvest has been made. So yun daw yung mga considerations, among others, ang kinoconsider bago magdesisyon na mag-import. Okay. Ngayon, sinabi din ni Attorney Trixie Cruz-Angeles na mag-harvest na raw ang Pilipinas, ang Filipino farmers, ng kanilang sugar this coming October, September.
Yeah.
Month na yun. How many days na lang yun? Di ba? So, that
so
is
replenishment.
So now, there is already a compliance with the first issue na hindi tayo mag-import kapag malapit na tayong mag-harvest, kasi magkakaroon tayo ng oversupply kung mag-import tayo niyan. Diba? Pangalawa, is there a finding that there is already a shortage of sugar right now? Doon sa sinabi ng ni Attorney Cruz-Angeles, wala naman daw shortage na seryoso, considering that meron na, sinabi na pa dito na meron ng nauna na importation just last June ba yan o May. So, walang determination na merong shortage, okay? Ang decision to import was just made out of the blue na walang meeting, walang pagtutukoy kung meron nga talagang shortage right now.
Okay. So let's look at the numbers, okay? In this table, which I hope you can see, no? It says there the supply and the demand of sugar in the country. Right now, this is coming from the Sugar Regulatory Authority. So sabi dito that the total supply from for the year, okay, the outer part is for the year 2020 to 21, no? Itong dito sa upper right corner. And then compare that with the inner or mas middle na tables for the 2021 to 2022. So look at the period covered. It is a September to July. It's not a 1 year thing. Okay? And this one is a September to August yung kabila. All right? So September 1 to August 1, that is about 11 months. Okay, so if you look at the other year, the total demand for that period is 1.9 billion metric tons. Okay, 1.9. So if you divide that by 11 months, that's about 180, something like that, 175,000 metric tons per month ang ating kinakain, all right? Or kinokonsumo for that particular 11-month period. Now, for this year, na sinundan natin, which covers about a period of 10 months, we consumed, okay, on the demand side tayo, dito sa demand side. So we consumed 1.8. So that's 10 months, so 180,000 metric tons per month, more or less.
Mm.
How many do we have as of, or how many did
How
we
much
do we
sugar?
did we produce, or how many, okay, how much sugar did we have as of that period? We have a total supply now of 2,044,000. So there's about 200,000 metric tons
Available.
between these two. Okay?
Mm.
In fact, this is the balance, right? So may transfers, there's still about 146,000. Will
Left.
there be a shortage? Legitimate yung tanong ng babae, no?
Mm.
All right, so legitimate yan. So if we will be having our harvest only by next month, okay,
Mm.
will this be enough to cover the,
To tide us over.
yes, to tide us over until the next period? But okay,
Available sugar.
do not forget, okay, do not forget. All right, this one covers here on the supply side. Imports, nothing. Okay?
Mm.
For the whole
Walang import.
period, walang import. But there was an import that was made in
June. June or May.
June. So hindi pa yun nakapasok dyan. They're about
Oo.
to arrive. Okay? So if you add that, how many metric tons were ordered last June? Di ba? Yun yung
Tanungin natin.
importante.
Mm.
No, we will look at the data because they made
Yes.
an effort to dispel the wrong yun, ito to. Sorry, it clarifies. All right.
Mm.
So they made an order in June.
Mm.
Man.
June.
All right. Anyway, sige. Discuss mo muna na saglit. I'll just open the data and I'll put it up here para mas maganda.
Ipatuloy natin yung pagpakinig natin nito.
Sige.
Patuloy muna natin. Okay?
Department of Agriculture
Babalikan natin
has
yan maya-mayang
indicated
konti.
allegedly critical levels of sugar. However, we are also approaching harvest season. This is why the importation calls for a balancing act. Will such importation affect the harvest and the prices of our local growers? In the absence of such a determination, then we cannot issue the resolution should not have been issued with such haste as it appears to have been made.
Ma'am, follow-up lang. Paano po yung mga pag-surge ng prices ng sugar? Paano natin i-address?
Like we said, it is a matter of a balancing act. Now, we just imported last May. Now, we have to determine if another importation, supposedly to address the critical levels that are approaching at the end of the month, will affect the harvest season, which opens in September. So again, a study is necessarily called for. And in fact, it was the executive secretary who issued the instruction for them to create an importation plan. In such importation plan, a determination has to be made about how this is going to affect the incoming harvest. You're welcome.
Next question, Ivan Mayrina, GMA7.
Ma'am, klaruhin ko lang, CES po issued an order to create an importation plan. Iba po yon dun sa lumabas na sugar order number 4.
Oh, definitely, yes. So it was a directive, actually. It was verbally issued so that the president can make a determination later on whether or not the importation is actually warranted.
So, would you say possibly hong miscommunication ito?
No, you don't convene the Sugar Regulatory Board in the absence of the president and in the absence of any such approval on his part. He did not approve the convening. You can only convene the board with the assent, explicit assent of the president, and he did not make such an agreement.
So while the investigation is ongoing, ano po ang status ngayon ng mga official ng Sugar Regulatory Board or Commission?
They are under investigation.
Pero are they still, officially holding
Well,
their
there
functions?
is no preventive suspension issued as of right now. So,
Thank you.
Next question, Neil Mercado, Inquirer.
If wala na pong questions on sugar, if
Okay,
I can go to another
pause mo muna,
topic.
If we
kasi
can answer.
nag-move sila to another,
Ma'am, how
okay, nag-move sila to another issue. Okay, so I will just pull up the last order.
The record.
Okay, the number 3. Okay, the number 3. Okay. And it's gonna be there. Tama? Lumabas hindi? Wala?
Teka lang,
Opening.
hindi pa. It's coming up.
Okay. All right. So this is why is this contentious issue, contentious order? Lumabas na po ba?
Yan, nandyan na.
Okay. Okay na.
Tanggalin
Okay,
ko lang itong banner.
the contentious one is the number 4. So this is the number 3. Okay? And the number 4 was issued in February 2022 during the last administration. Okay? And it looks like this. Wait lang kasi natatakpan kayo. I-ano ko lang, palakihin ko lang, no? Tama? Para makita nyo.
Palaki mo.
I-zoom out ko. How do I zoom out? Zoom out.
Scroll lang. Sa baba plus minus.
Okay,
Sa baba, bar yung bar.
There. Sorry. Tao lang. Konti. Isa, bawas. Yon, para magkasya. Yan. Okay na? Alright.
Okay na yan.
So, says here that there was a typhoon. Okay, and then blah, blah, blah. Okay, now this is the part that we are interested about. Now, therefore, by authority vested in the Sugar Regulatory Administration, SRA, the following is hereby ordered. Number 1, the sugar import program shall be for the crop year 2021 to 22. Okay, volume and type of sugar to be imported. This type of import is 200,000 metric tons refined sugar. Of this total import, 100,000 metric tons shall be standard grade refined sugar, and the other 100,000 metric tons shall be butler's grade refined sugar. Okay, so yung sinundan niya pala is for 200,000. Whether this has arrived, walang nakalagay dun sa ating statistics na tiningnan kanina na importation for the 2 years that we looked at. So therefore, wala pang dumating for this one. Okay, and kung may in-import no May, as Attorney Trixie is saying, it must come from this order. So, okay, so this import program is open and voluntary to industrial users or refined sugar that are duly registered with the SRA as an international sugar trader in good standing for crop year 2021-22. Okay, now this is probably the most contentious issue there. Because this does not allow you and me to buy sugar anywhere. Only a few will make money out of this one, no? The ones who are registered. Okay, so provided that the SRA registered industrial user may use the services of an SRA registered international sugar trader. Oh, there's a trader now involved. May DTI registration to, no? Panahon nila. Alam mo na. In good standing for CY to 2021-22 to import the sugar. Oh, Secretary DTI dati. Provided further that an industrial user that is not duly registered with the SRA as an international sugar trader for the crop year must secure the services of an SRA registered international sugar trader. So therefore, kung kailangan mo, maki-ride on ka. No, maki-ride on ka sa kanyang lisensya. Bayad ka.
Exactly. Bibili ka doon sa may lisensya.
To import the sugar
Ganun
for
yan
its
kasi.
account. Otherwise, the unregistered industrial user is not eligible to participate.
Uy, okay yung rock na yan.
Oo. Yun. Tingnan mo muna, attorney, kung okay yan. Aha. Okay. Sige. Kausapin ko lang to sa
So, ang tanong ko dyan ay habang kinakausap mo yung tumawag sa'yo, ay parang nagkakaroon ng monopoly dito ng asukal dahil sa importation na to hindi naman monopoly kasi siguro marami naman silang SRA registered, but there will be now a captive consumer or buyer, not necessarily consumer because it may be a distributor lang din ito sa Pilipinas na mga imported sugar. Meanwhile, walang sinasabi dito na wala na tayong produkto ng sugar na natitira that is not imported.
Hindi, Nick,
Okay, micromanage ni Uncle JP yung kanyang surroundings.
hindi, si ano pa rin to, yung guest natin kanina, pinapaturuan ko sa anak ko kung paano mag-zoom.
Mag-zoom.
Okay, okay, so this is the, we're here and, okay. So, move forward natin ng konti, no?
Hindi pa malinaw, Uncle JP, sa ating research dito kung while this order, yung number 3, okay, ay habang in-order nila to ay hindi natin alam kung meron pang sugar na natitira from
Meron tayo nakita kanina na meron tayong 144,000 metric tons.
And understandably, I think yung itong order na to covers the new year na, hindi ito sa last cycle, di ba? Ang August yung last cycle.
What does this cover? Okay? Ang sabi kasi dito 2021 to 2022.
2022.
And the statistics that we were looking earlier, which also comes from them, this was updated as of July 31 of this year. Okay?
This year.
So this is very, very recent data. Ito yung kagandahan ng panahon ni Digong, no? When we are able to see recent data. Okay? It says here, look, imports.
Zero.
Sugar. Wala, oh.
Zero.
So between 2021 and 2022, wala pang dumating dyan sa 200,000 metric tons na na-authorize na.
So how did they make a determination that there is a lack?
A coming shortage?
Parang siguro yan, parang prognosis, parang expectation na baka magkaroon dahil may audit. Di ba?
No, audit is already finished. No. That one is from the audit.
Audit happened in 2021.
Or maybe 2020, I do not remember, no? But the point here is that right now, we only have, 146,000 metric tons. Okay? But they're supposed to have already ordered based on this one, which was subsisting already in May. So there were already orders based on this one. Incoming. Okay? Because this was issued Feb 2022. Oh.
Yung kanilang order ay yung kanilang
yung contentious is number 4. This is number 3.
Yes, this is the context. This
is where they are coming from. Kaya nga number 4 yung contentious, di ba kahapon? Alright.
Bakit kung totoo ito at kung yung report na tiningnan natin kanina is current, then maaring hindi pa dumadating tong order na to.
Wala talaga kasi that is the Sugar Regulatory Authority unless they are not reflecting in their records.
Yes.
Itong transactions ng mga importers of sugar who are supposed to be registered with them kasi hindi ka dapat nag-i-import ng asukal nang hindi alam ng Sugar Regulatory Authority.
Merong import dito
Asan?
That is the refined wag mo galawin yan.
Where?
Refined sugar.
Sa baba?
Ito
yun.
is,
Okay. Here pala, meron.
Ano?
Okay.
Refined sugar.
Now, okay, so kung ang imports ay meron na.
Ayun tatlo. Nakatatlo sila eh.
So this one is already so ubos na nila yung kanilang 200. Okay, under 3, no? SO3.
Kasi SO3, SO4 yun from 2019 to 2020, 2020 to 2021. At saka yung SO3 21 to 22, 172 yung what's that demand? Is that the demand?
So may 30 na lang. No. This is the supply side. Okay, so ang natitira pa na lang pala doon is 30,000 metric tons. Okay.
Mukhang shortage nga. Shortage nga.
No. It's not, because if it's only 30,000 and we have 146,000,
Mm.
okay, and we consume 180, tama lang. And every week
Kaya
there
pa.
is production, ha? There is production every week. Continuous yun. Let's open the production, ha? The sugar production. Nakapasok na. Sige. Let me just open. Okay. Ayan. Okay. Yeah, so, sige, ano mo muna. I-open ko lang yung ano para ko.
Hindi
Yung
ko maintindihan
statistics.
itong- Dahil nagdadol lang sir ako. Sige lang, mamaya.
Yeah, but that is
Okay,
your
so-
evidence there.
Yes. May
Okay,
evidence
okay.
that I should have done that.
Ay, nako. Kawawa naman. Hindi.
Ano
Ganun
pa yung,
naman.
bakit natin kinakausap yung guest natin kanina sa tambayan? I-guest natin
Hindi.
dito.
Tinuturuan ko. Mamaya na, online ako.
Sige lang,
Okay.
i-edit out ko na lang yung mamaya.
Yeah. So, sugar supply and demand situation, okay? Lalabas ba to? Hindi, no?
Alin?
Okay. So,
Magtagal ka ng isa.
No. I have to transfer kasi to the other, ano? Pwede ba yun? Hindi. Hindi, no?
Transfer to other document. Remove
No,
one,
another,
isa, dalawa
ano?
na-
No, the other one is a video. Hindi yan siya. Another tab. Hindi siya pwede, no?
Pwede. Tanggalin mo muna tong nandito ngayon.
Kaya nga, I have to take it out.
Yes, and share again a tab. A
Okay.
Chrome tab.
Yeah. All right. And then I'll share another one. So anyway,
Yes. Okay, Mal.
I was also looking at the
Mag-muna
prices.
tayo. Mag-share ka
Okay.
muna dyan.
Yan, mag-share muna kayo. Ayan, kaya nga. Sige, magbati ka muna dyan.
Magpati. Sabi ko na. Okay. 186 daw ang ngayon sa aking pagbabati.
Bati o bati?
Matilim dito. Bakit?
Bati tayo, ha? Hindi ba ganun yun?
Okay. I think disapprove is not proper term.
Ha?
Disapprove. Disapprove na yata. Thumb down eh. Pero okay. What we are talking about here is what happened to that order. Okay? What happened to that order is that it's been disallowed. It's canceled. It's an illegal order. Sabi ni ng Malacanang. Dahil ay hindi nga yan siya authorized ng isang miyembro ng chairman ng Sugar Regulatory Board or whatever it is. SRB ba yan siya? Na ang ng tao na yon ay ang presidente. At itong si Sebastian ay ito ay parang na-authorized to attend meetings of this board, of this particular group to represent the president when the president cannot attend that meeting. Okay, but when that meeting is called, which has to be with the consent of the president, so hindi pwedeng magkaroon ng ganitong meeting, natawagin itong meeting na to na hindi pinayagan o either pinatawag ng presidente mismo or pinatawag ng board with the consent of the president.
Yep.
Okay? Ang authority dito kay Sebastian ay mag-attend lang ng meeting na yan kapag ito ay properly convened, okay, properly called for, and the president cannot attend the meeting for legal reasons. Meron siyang appointment and all that stuff. Because when we say attend, we mean actual physical attendance. Okay? So hindi pwedeng mapunta ang presidente, meron siyang representante. But that representative has no authority to sign any document. And it appears that he did sign this document by himself and others na nag-approve nitong resolution na wala namang authority ng presidente dahil hindi naman siya authorized to sign in behalf of the president. Yan yun. Yan yun. Nandun sa order na yan. Itong SO number 4 of this year.
Sugar order. No?
Ano itong, i-add na natin to sa stream?
Wait lang.
Wait lang muna.
Okay.
Okay.
Yan, sige. Game. Sige, add mo.
Okay. Yan.
So this is the raw production per month.
Mm.
Okay? So you will see that there is still production on the month of September. Okay? And when you go around, meron pa rin ng August, may production pa rin yan as of last year. Yan, may production pa rin yan. Although mababa kasi nga mag-harvest by September.
Mm.
Di ba? Gets mo? So aabot eh.
Okay, so
May 4,000 ka
tuloy-tuloy siya.
dito, may order ka doon. Oo, umiikot yan.
Aabot.
And in terms of prices, there was a question there na tumataas na daw yung presyo. Actually, the statistics by this body, lumalabas na ba? No, not that one, pare ko. Ito pala. Sorry.
Where is it?
Sorry. Control C. Ito pala yung tinitingnan nyo.
Oo nga.
Oh,
Iba nga.
yan. That one.
Naglo-load pa lang. Yan.
It goes around but it's slow. Okay? Like look at
Yan.
the year 2021. Here on the second column, no, there are months there. It starts with September, so the crop year starts in September for that industry. But okay, tingnan mo yung yung pag-angat,
Meron pang production by August.
di ba? So look at the 2021 data. But in some years, like in 2019, wala. Alright? So August is really the lowest pala na production dyan. Alright?
Kasi dulo na siya.
Yes. So if we have 100, kumbaga if we have 80% now and then we have the kakulangan coming, what that order would have done is arrive in the period of October or November. Okay? And in this period, this is also the peak of our productions, and that will dampen the income of the
local producers.
the local manufacturers. Dito yan siya tatama. Hindi naman yan tatama if you order now. Hindi yan siya tatama sa buwan ng Agosto. At hindi rin yan siya tatama sa buwan ng Oktubre. Dito yan tatama sa buwan ng mga to.
Yung tatlong yan.
Oo. Kasi if you look at the order that we looked at kanina, SO number 3, 2021, okay, medyo late na yan dumating.
Yung SO number 3, 2021 was made.
Hindi pa nga siya naubos
ulit.
February. Hindi pa nga siya naubos Hindi pa nakarating yung buong 200,000 metric tons na inallow to be imported. Since
So hindi
February.
yan siya one shipment. Hindi yan ibig sabihin one shipment yung 300,000 na megatons na yan.
Ang dami niyan. Ilang barko yan.
Metric tons wala, metric tons, not megatons.
Oo. Kasi yung 1 metric ton is already 1,000 tons, 1 million kilos na yan of sugar. Okay? So we are talking here of 300,000 million? 300,000. So 300 billion kilos of sugar. Okay, so yun. Hindi pa nga naubos yung sa February. So if you order now, it will arrive at this month's kung saan mataas yung ating production. Tama naman yung Di ba?
Tama ba? Na dadating yung yung in-order nila sa panahon na meron din tayong produkto,
then you will destroy the local market.
Matatalo tayo dyan.
Oo. Yun.
So,
kasi the peak of our productions is January, February, and March. Okay? So kung yung February na order, March, April, May, June, July, August, 6 months, hindi pa nakarating. Yung huling parte. And it's coming. It's supposed to come now. Yun yung target niyan. So if it takes 6 months, and then you order another one now, you authorize another one now, July, August, September, okay, it will arrive on January at the peak of our productions. Kakalabanin mo itong mga to. Itong mga buwan kung saan meron tayong production. Okay. Hindi naman to mga farmers na ordinaryo, hacienderos.
Mga kasike.
Mga kasike, hacienderos. Yung aming lahi.
So
mga oligarko.
Yan yung problema natin dyan dahil nakakalimutan natin itong mga ahensya na to na bantayan kasi ang binabantayan natin ay yung presidente, yung kanyang yung kanyang gustong mag-Tinagalog tayong lahat o mag-in-English tayong lahat at yung mga pinagkagawa ng
Grammar.
pinagkagawa natin sa movies, sa sinehan at dito sa social media. Nakalimutan na nating lahat, pati rin ng media na itong pinagmamayabang nitong sarili nila na sila daw ay tagabantay ng mga nangyayaring ito ay nakalimutan din nila. Sumama-sama lang sila sa atin din dito sa Facebook. Okay? Yan yung tinutukan nila. So, kung ganun pala tayong lahat dito, mga vloggers at saka mga media ay nandito rin, sumusunod lang sa giyera patani na katarantaduhan nating lahat dito sa social media, o di walang katotohanan na mas mabuti pa pala sila kaysa sa atin. Pare-pareho lang pala tayo mga chismoso, marites dito sa social media, samantala, nahuhuli na lang ng presidente natin, ng executive secretary, na may kulukadidangs na pala doon sa Sugar Regulatory Board.
Yep. And there are so many boards that are authorizing importations, like the ones for rice, the ones for meat,
NFA. Yes.
Meat, rice,
Vegetables.
even seafoods. Those are all under the president now. DA. Okay.
So,
and then
it's
the
just
other
siguro it's just fitting na siya yung siya yung nakahuli nito dahil siya nga naman yung DA, di ba?
very good. Yeah, that's true. And kagabi sa ating pinag-usapan, di ba, sino yung DA secretary na nag-resign, di ba? Si Lopez yun. Now this one we just need to take a look lang, no? Kasi nagkaroon na pala ng issue, sir, nung number 3 pa lang. Okay, so look at how they countered the issue. So they released this last June, the other month lang, no? Okay, unfounded statement number 1, baseless. There is plenty of sugar. We have 60 million metric tons of sugar. Sugar shortage is a figment of the imagination of the Secretary Dar and Administrator Serapika. Fact. Ala Rappler talaga yung dating nito, no? There was never a time in history that the Philippines had 60 million metric tons. Yeah, that's true. 60 million metric tons. Wala na to.
Ang laki naman ng
24 nga lang yung kabuang taon, di ba? So, our highest production ever was recorded at 2.5 million metric tons. Ayan. For the real sugar situation based on the stock balance as of June 19, 2022, our raw sugar supply will last until August 4, 2022.
Tama. Last day na pala yung birthday ko na may asukal.
So, yan yung kanilang binuffer with the number 3, which was just in time. Okay? And for that, I think hindi yan questionable kung sino man ang nagpirma noon, no? Kumbaga, maybe that was really approved before.
Ito siya validly. Wala tayong magagawang questionin yan eh.
Kasi kung hindi nila in-issue yung number 3, wala tayong asukal ngayon. Okay? For this crop year, which started September 1, September 1, magsisimula na in just a few days. Our final estimate with production of raw sugar is 1.8 million metric tons. Okay, so that is the unfounded statement number 1 fact. Okay, this is the refined sugar daw. Our carryover stock was 144,000 metric tons. Our estimated refined sugar production is 771,000 metric tons, giving us a total refined sugar stock balance of 915,000. Okay, so yan pala yun. Okay, so there is unfounded number 2, baseless. There is no damage from typhoon ulit. Fact, okay, the damage by the typhoon was real. Okay, meron naman talaga. Okay, yan. Number 3, baseless. In an alleged Zoom meeting with SRA administrator that Mr. Lamatas claims to have attended held 2 months ago, SRA technical personnel supposedly said that production has gone up. Okay, this is not true. We have seen this from the numbers kanina that last year mababa siya, di ba? Tama naman sila dyan. Unfounded statement number 4, 200,000 metric tons of imported sugar under number 3, 2022 is already here in the country. We have seen it. Na it's not yet. Even, kumbaga, hindi pa siya na-deplete yung 200,000 na inauthorize. So most of the imported sugar under sugar order number 3 has not yet arrived in the Philippines. SRA is the only authority issuing clearances. So in that case, uh, tama rin yung ginagawa ng executive secretary na pag-aralan nyo muna or make a good study so that we will know how to proceed. So, ang mali
Importation
dito,
plan. Yun yung importation plan. Yun yung tawag
yes,
doon.
ang mali dito is sinabihan sila mag-aral, nag-issue sila ng SRA. Yun na yun. You went beyond your ano. Oh, the import volume is way too much.
You went beyond. Sige, go.
Okay, sabi dito, the import volume daw na 200,000 is way too much. In fact, we see it now that it's just enough. Tama? It just so yun. Hindi naman to ganun pala ka questionable itong opisina na to, no? They are actually doing their jobs also. No?
That's right. Except that dito sa sitwasyon na to,
They were not really authorized.
That guy was not authorized to sign in behalf of the president.
Yes.
Yun lang naman ang issue yata.
No matter what, no matter the good intentions, when you are not authorized to do anything that good, like, alam mo yun, marami tayong mga friends dyan na
Assuming, nag-assume.
assuming, yun. Ay, alam mo, the lesson here is assuming, no?
Yun nga tinatawag nating assumptions at saka presumptions.
Yun.
In communication, in asking questions in the press briefing, in deciding official functions, mga ganyan. Kailangan.
Kagaya nito. Itong lalaking to, pakinggan nyo.
Tanggalin muna natin itong
How much of a concern is disinformation to the Marcos administration?
Okay, balikan ko lang ha.
Yun ang mga official.
No, balik natin.
Okay to, ang tanong ni Ivan Mayrina, this is very legitimate. I like this.
They are under investigation.
Pero are they still, officially holding
Well,
their function?
there is no preventive suspension issued as of right now. So,
Thank you.
Okay.
Next question.
Ito ha, pakinggan nito.
Neil
Ito.
Mercado, Inquirer.
Inquirer.
If wala na po questions on sugar, if I can go to another topic.
if we can answer it.
Okay. Ma'am, how much of a concern is disinformation to the Marcos administration?
How big of a concern is this information to the Marcos administration?
Okay.
Attorney Ahmed, would you like to answer that for me?
No, I cannot answer it for the president, but I can...
Ako, meron ako.
Sige.
Hindi, galing to sa iyo eh. Notes mo to nung isang gabi. Di ba?
Yes.
Sige.
Hindi ko mabasa
last ko
dahil
dyan.
merong play play something.
Okay, nakikita
Hindi ko
natin.
mabasa.
Sabi mo dito, disinformation is a subset of propaganda and is defined as false information that is spread deliberately to deceive people. It is sometimes confused with misinformation, which is false information, but Anyway, tinan mo yung mukha ni Trixie.
Okay, ang reaction ni Attorney Trixie Cruz-Angeles ay hindi parang
Hindi mawari. What are
Kasi
you asking me?
Ano yung tanong? Gaano ka-importante sa mga Marcos, okay, sa presidente ang disinformation? Importante ba sa inyo? Kayo, nakikinig dito. Is it important to you at all? Disinformation?
Disinformation is important, di ba? But in this particular press briefing, okay, where Trixie really said, okay, we are going to focus on this. Why would you ask that and insist on that question, which is actually as old as the Duterte administration?
Why it's
Okay.
older than that?
Hindi, kasi they've been accusing the government of being behind the disinformation. Okay? And then now, you will ask this. Meron tong connect bukas sa mga balita. Bantayan niya yan.
We will see.
Okay,
Pero ito
bantayan
muna
niya.
itatanong natin. Do you see the vagueness of that question? Because something that we call important is something that we put value on. Why do we put value on disinformation? Maybe we put value on combating disinformation, or we value information that is proper. We value proper information, and we do not give value to disinformation. Okay? And another way of saying that, in fashioning your question, is how important is it to the Marcos family or to the Marcos administration to combat disinformation if it exists, okay, or if it is accused of them. That is the proper way of saying that. Now, saying that question in this manner is either ignorance, he does not know what the hell he is talking about, or he is just completely malicious in what he is talking about.
Malicious yan kasi ang kanilang assumption dyan sa grupo nila is that itong pamilya nga daw ng mga Marcos, kasi nga meron yung section ang ang Rappler called Marcos Fact Check. Ibig sabihin meron na silang naka-devote just for
So, meron
checking
silang
everything.
judgment.
There's an
Every
assumption.
judgment na sila. So,
And then-
pag tinanong mo, meron na kasi kaming assumption na
Sinungaling kayo.
sabihin nyo. So, how important is it to you na mag-disinform ng mga tao? Ganyan.
So it's probably going to be slanted tomorrow like this entire SRA thing is a disinformation attempt by the Marcos administration. I do not
Okay.
know. That would be the worst part, but let's see how Trixie answers.
I really don't know at this point if this reporter is a moron or he is
Hindi,
a
hindi
malicious.
man.
I don't know which is which. But that question really is just completely problematic.
And out of line.
I'm sorry, I need to know what the basis of your question is.
Because may mga nagsasabi na yung win po ni President Marcos was may full of parang maraming disinformation during the campaign that had boost yung campaign ni President Marcos. So maybe
Okay, hindi ko na matiis tong taong to.
how
Sige, tuloy pa
much of
natin.
a concern is disinformation to this administration?
If any illegal,
Okay muna. Let's not discuss the answer of the press secretary for a while. Ang tanong muna, ang tirada niya there is talk that the campaign of Mr. Marcos was made up of disinformation. That is virtually what he is talking about. His basis is there is talk of. There is talk of. What is that? Is that a name of a person? Is that a fact made by
Amor.
Rabbit?
Amor.
Amor. Okay, so if there
Amor.
is something, it is true. And therefore, if it is true, then
Amor
you won
daw.
by
Amor
division.
din pala.
So that is the presumption of this question. The presumption of this question is that since there is talk that this campaign was run on disinformation, therefore he's winning the presidency is also based on disinformation. So therefore, how important is this to this administration? This disinformation thing.
Okay.
Does that make any sense to you?
Hindi. Okay sana kung ginawa niyo yung tanong na yun mga bandang second week of July. But it's already the second week of August. Di ba? Or maybe right after the election, pwede niya may tanong yan. Parang ngayon ka lang nakapunta ng press convoy, ngayon lang nakapagtanong talaga. Issue pa ba talaga yan?
Ano bagong ligo
Diba?
siya?
Or
Yung buhok.
or based on our discussion, batting out. They do not want the issue to stop. So they want a fresh answer so that they will ring the bell again.
I understand
Paikot-ikot
now, I
naman
understand.
nila. Batting
I
out.
understand. Okay. Tuloy
Yun.
natin
acts
ang
have
sagot.
been committed, and the proper venue for that would be the courts.
Mhm.
So that's our only reaction here. The freedom of speech is prevalent in this country. It's guaranteed by the Constitution. People can say that. People can talk about it. They can discuss these matters. But no such wrongdoing has been committed.
Thank you po.
You're welcome.
Kat Domingo, ABS.
Good morning,
Okay.
ma'am.
Hold on.
We understand that yesterday the president.
Sige, tuloy na lang. ABS.
ABS-CBN.
Ang sagot ni Attorney Trixie ay,
Wait lang.
there is a process.
Wait lang.
Patapusin
Maganda.
natin yung aso.
Maganda.
Maganda yung mata niya, no? Sana yung ngipin niya hindi mukhang ngipin ng piranha. Anyway,
Ito, maganda din yung aso ko.
Sinasabi ko.
Maganda rin.
Held a meeting with the Department of Trade and Industry with regard to fertilizers.
Yes.
May we know what was discussed in that meeting?
Well, as you know, foremost on the president's mind is to protect our agricultural industries, our agriculture. And part of the concerns of our farmers are the prices of fertilizer. So this was among those things that were discussed by the president with the DTI secretary.
Since the DTI was involved, will price caps be implemented over several ingredients of fertilizers or raw materials?
We will have to wait for the DTI to make a recommendation.
Wait
Good
lang.
answer, good answer, good answer. Anong masasabi
Oo.
mo doon, sir, sa tungkol sa DTI involvement in that meeting?
Wait lang, wait lang. Kasi yung fertilizer kasi, it's una, is it a product that is being regulated by the DTI? I think kasi it's being regulated by the Department of Agriculture eh. Kasi those are parang 'di ba, like in the Consumer Act, there are items which are regulated by the Bureau of Animal Industry and Fisheries, and then there is the health part yung sa BFAD, and then the other consumer products are regulated by the DTI, no? So I'm not so sure whether the DTI has any
Jurisdiction.
direct influence about the pricing or the importation of fertilizers, not even in the certification of what fertilizers are allowed to be used in the country, no, kasi those are specialized things. Yung inspection of fertilizer, whether that is going to be disastrous to the environment or not. But I think the only part that the DTI plays in that is in the selling part, yung pagmamanage ng tindahan, which is their only role. So as far as pricing is concerned, I do not see any connection. Pero, yun nga, sabi ni Trixie, unless there is a recommendation,
Wala na ako.
di ba? Okay. So, i-play natin to, si DTI. Pero, okay, itong question naman na isa, isingit ko lang to, Torny, kasi baka mawala, no? May nagtatanong about the ABC5 and Channel 2. My answer there is this. As of now, it's just a plan being floated. Okay? And
Yes,
for Attorney Ahmed and me to make any comment on that, it's premature. Unless they do it really. Let them do it. So, enough muna na pabayaan na muna natin sila. But maybe if we can comment, we'll comment on the theoretical side. No, ganun lang siguro mamaya or whatever. Who knows? Pag-usapan natin yan mamaya. But on the theoretical plane.
On that.
Job Manahan, ABS-CBN Online.
Good morning po, ma'am. Job Manan po from ABS-CBN. Regarding po dun sa fertilizers pa rin,
Yes, sir.
may mga bansa po ba na tinitingnan na pagkukunan po ng fertilizer supply since na-mention po before ni President na parang he's planning to write a
Ito ba yung
letter
tinatanong mo, si girl?
governments regarding this.
The president will
Or
make
yung
an
sa
announcement
taga-
as to the whatever countries when he does write such letters.
Okay po. Tapos, regarding naman po ito sa state of calamity declaration nationwide because of the pandemic, ma'am.
Wait. Mga ABS-CBN boys din to, no? So the girl kanina was ABS-CBN and then this one is also ABS-CBN. And they were asking about what
ABS-CBN.
letters? What letters were they asking
Marami
about?
naman yan silang ANC, meron ding ABS-CBN.
Yeah, I want to know what the letter was this
Po
about.
before ni President na parang he's planning to write a letter personally to governments regarding this.
The
Presto
president will
naman.
make an announcement as to the whatever countries when he does write such letters.
Okay po. Tapos regarding naman po ito sa state of calamity declaration nationwide because of the pandemic, ma'am. Former President Rodrigo Duterte's proclamation extending the state of calamity will end na po because of the pandemic in nearly a month or on September 12 this year. May info po ba if President Marcos is keen on extending this?
It will depend on the recommendation of the DOH. But we will make the announcement when the time comes.
Okay po.
Yun. Teka lang. Hindi ko lang
Okay,
I
hold
will
on,
just,
hold on.
uh,
Yan.
I just say
Ikaw muna.
welcome.
Ikaw muna.
Okay, welcome to you and antabayanan mo because probably you will hear the best comments on their actions and their from the two of us when it happens. So itong tanong nila is about the letters on prices ng pa rin, Attorney, fertilizer, kung sinong kinakausap ni Presidente. Okay. And yung state of
ng
calamity,
Presidente.
whether what will happen after. Okay. Legitimate naman yun.
Kasi importante itong state
Any other
of
questions?
calamity. Teka. Pause muna. Ang importante
Yeah,
kasi importante ito dahil it allows, okay, that puts us in a state of calamity, allows the importation of certain things na without so much fuss, okay, na medyo sweetik, mabilis, smooth na pagpapa-order ng mga importation ng mga ganito ganyan. Dahil sa state of calamity. Ngayon, ang tinatanong nila dyan is really actually connected to the issue, which is this importation of sugar. Kasi napadali actually ng batas na yon, yung ating state of under being state of calamity, napadali ang pagpapa-import ng sugar and all that stuff, na matitigil o matatapos na ngayong September 12. Kaya importante yung tanong
malapit na pala yan.
and we still don't know the answer to that. Kasi ang Presidente ang mag-decide whether or not to extend that.
Tsaka may advantage pala tayo dyan. During a state of calamity, merong mga loans na nagiging available sa SSS, sa PhilHealth, Pag-ibig usually. Hindi pala PhilHealth. SSS and Pag-ibig, mga calamity loans, they become available. Play?
Yes. Importante yun siya. Larga.
Ma'am, yesterday, the Presidential Legal Counsel issued several statements against defeated mayoralty candidate in Quezon City. May we get the palace's comment on that issue?
There is no comment. The visit was just a social call.
So there is no truth to observations that the former congressman may be appointed as the next MMDA chief next year after the one-year
Nick.
ban.
Right now, we have no information on that. As you know, you're right. There is a one-year ban, so there will be no announcement as to who will be appointed, even assuming that it's going to be him. So right now, that's in the realm of speculation.
Ma'am,
you,
on a
ma'am.
related point
You're
to that
welcome.
question, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Kasi putol-putol na, hindi ko na maintindihan yung sinasabi. So, i-disable ko muna yung video. Tanong lang, audio lang. Yung tanong niya is based on sabi-sabi na naman. Okay, is it normal, ikaw kasi sa media ka nanggaling, doon ka nagtrabaho for a long time, tama ba ito na galing sa chismis yung kanilang source and then they verify it with this suddenly just verify it to with the official, ganitong press secretary, pero without proof that there is actually such sabi-sabi. Ako, I am not aware of that, but the fact na tinatanong yan ng ganyan is parang mahilig talaga to silang magpapaniwala sa mga sabi-sabi at itatanong sa mga opisyal kung totoo o hindi. So ang nangyayari tuloy, ang mga opisyal natin nagiging busy sa sasagot ng mga tanong dito tungkol sa mga sabi-sabi na walang kinalaman dito sa ating discussion.
Okay, we do not have to go. We do not have to go into experience on that. In fact, we discussed this. Yung alam mo yung pangit pala yung signal natin no, yung meron tayong mga graph from the Global Disinformation Index. So there, how does one disinformation become truth? You release it, and then within 24 hours, you hear it again, and then it is reinforced by other networks. So a lie becomes true. And the lie even if it is a positive, even if it's denied, becomes more true when it is being responded. Ayan. And that is how you pressure
So
government.
sometimes,
You know?
sometimes,
Ah.
sometimes, uh, ang nangyayari is media, our mainstream media, would ask anything under the sun in order just to provoke a mistake to be made
No,
by the
it's not under
person
the
that
sun.
they're
It's not under the
questioning.
sun.
Na
It's not under the sun. It's planned. As we
under
said,
the
nothing goes out of these people's mouths, these reporters, nothing goes out of their mouths unless it has been pre-approved by their
no, I
editors.
understand that. I
Mhm.
understand that. So these media companies, media
Mm.
sources are
Mm.
are
Manipulating.
making part of its of their plans, uh, asking questions that are
That they lay
anywhere
themselves.
that to be found
That they
anywhere
make,
in the, so kahit
yes,
ano na
yes.
lang talaga ang itatanong nila just to prove something, that is the plan.
No, the plan is they want you to do something. And in this case, it may be either to block
Yes.
Mike Defensor's chance of ever becoming an MMDA chair or to post his name
Ah,
to be considered as an MMDA chair. Those are the two possible
possible plans.
outcomes. And since it's the
Oh,
ABS-CBN,
sige, sige.
which is pushing it, I'm more inclined to think that it is in the pushing him to become the MMDA chair.
Mhm. Okay, okay.
Oh,
Continue.
why? You don't wanna know why? You don't wanna know why? Ayaw na
I
ata ni
want
Ma.
to.
Why? Because it was Mike Defensor who actually invited Juan Ponce Enrile to speak in Congress on behalf of ABS-CBN while attacking ABS-CBN.
Sabay po nung pag-call out na yon ni Chief Presidential Legal Counsel ay yung panawagan na, and I quote, mag-ingat tayo that we may be construed as carelessly showing an arrogance of power in our behavior as public persons, especially if we are somewhat identified with the current regime. Does the palace share that sentiment of the Chief Presidential Legal Counsel?
The palace has no reaction.
Thank you.
Last question. We have two more questions.
Sino ba yung Presidential Legal Counsel? Med? Bago? Wala na akong kausap. Sino yung Presidential Legal Counsel?
Nandito ako.
No, who is the Presidential Legal Counsel na
Putol-putol na kasi.
pinagsasabi nila? Anyway, we just
Si
find out.
Enrile.
Narciso?
Si Enrile? Nakikinig pala sila kay Enrile.
Secretary, nitong mga nakaraang araw po o linggo, marami yung mga anti-illegal drug operations.
Sorry,
Anti-illegal
madaming?
drug operations po.
Okay.
Ano na po ang policy ni Pangulong Marcos sa campaign on illegal drugs?
Tuloy po ang campaign laban sa illegal na droga at pinagkakatiwalaan niya ang kanyang Chief PNP na mag-set ng polisiya at direktiba ukol dito. Nilabas naman po ni Chief PNP na tuloy-tuloy ang kanilang operasyon and they will be compliant with the law pursuant to this.
Chris Jose, remate.
Ma'am, statement lang po sa pagkamatay ni Ms. Ligia de Beca Mercado.
Issuein po namin mamaya with the President will be issuing his own statement. So let's just wait for that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Michelle Gilang.
Good morning, Secretary Trixie. My question is about
Si English girl.
yung
How are you,
sugar
English
issue
girl?
pa rin po. Paano po naging illegal yung
Yan ba yan?
importation kung dati naman po
Oh.
siyang ginagawa at may order ang SRA, especially now po na manipis yung supply ng sugar at kaya po mahal yung presyo sa market. Also, kung illegal po yung SRO, paano po
Gusto ko tong
i-hold
babae na to eh.
accountable yung mga nakapirma sa order, kagaya po ni SRA Chief Serafica at ni DA Undersecretary Sebastian. May sanction po ba yun?
Una, illegal talaga mag-import ng kahit ano ng walang authority.
Sige, sige.
Okay? Kahit na mag-import ka lang ng sapatos, Day, English girl, illegal yan. Kung hindi mo yan, i-declare ng tama sa customs. Okay? Yan ay panahon pa ng merkantilismo, wala pang kapitalismo. Ganyan na po ang patakaran sa buong mundo mula nung panahon ni Jesucristo. Okay, trading is not allowed when it is not allowed by the government to be brought inside the country. Second, yung presyo ng asukal, dapat chinek niya. Kasi chinek ko na to at ayaw ko na ilabas. It has been steady for the whole year. Or kung may movement man napakaliit by the sack. Magmumove ng 5 piso, 2 piso by a sack. Okay, so sabi niya kasi rising daw yung presyo ng asukal. Wrong ka po dyan. Hindi po siya rising. Okay. Nagninipis yung supply, yes. Pero may tama na bagong supply. So, look, supply and demand, simple economics will meet. Pero yung kanyang sinasabi about the illegality of the tinatanong niya, hindi kaya dapat nag-aral ka lang ng kolehiyo muna bumalik?
Kung di pa na-approve
di ba? Parang parang stock knowledge yun na pagka sinabi mong illegal, may basis nga yan. At siguro pagka pumunta ka without your boss consent, di ba? Kung walang consent ng boss mo o nang nag-authorize sa'yo o hindi yan kasama sa functions mo, illegal yan, natural.
Yeah. In fact, under the free trade agreement, yun nga yung, di ba? Kaya ka nga papasok sa WTO, kasi may mga produkto kayong pinag-uusapan na huwag nyo na itong pahirapan yung pagpasok nito. Magpasok ka ng bakal, illegal. Magpasok ka ng na walang, di ba, smuggling ang tawag doon. Illegal talaga yun kapag wala kang authority mag-import ng kahit ano. Kahit na nga ballpen
Pero sila, parang we can say na bypass po ba ang presidente?
Well, in order to issue a resolution, they should have met. The meeting was not authorized. Only the president, as the chairman, can call for such a meeting. Number one. Number two, the resolution was issued in the president's name. It was signed for the president by Undersecretary Sebastian. Such signing was not authorized by the president. His assignment as the alternate of the president is merely to be present in those meetings where the president cannot attend. It is not a delegation of authority to call any meetings or to sign any resolutions in the absence of the president's awareness that such a resolution is to be issued.
Thank you po.
You're welcome.
May dadagdag lang ako dyan. May insider info lang ako dyan sa agriculture kasi na nadaanan ko lang din from a friend na who was very glad. Itong friend ko na to is a Dilawan. He was just feeling like napakaswerte naman nitong mga kaibigan ko na nasa DA na hindi sila pinagtatatanggal ni BBM. Kasi remember, we have MC1 and MC2, but almost all of the undersecretaries and USECs and ASECs of DA were retained. So kumbaga, ni-renew yung kanilang mga appointment.
Masaya siya.
Yeah, and this Sebastian,
masaya siya.
Because expectation nila tatanggalin, the expectation ng mga Dilawan na kaibigan, lahat ng mga kakilala nila sa gobyerno ay matatanggal. So parang surprise siya na, hindi tinanggal ni BBM yung mga tao dito sa DA? Yun. So I saw a post na nandun siya sa DA na parang, ang swerte, parang ang galing naman nila na hindi sila, na ni-renew sila. Hindi sinabi na magaling si BBM or mabait si BBM na hindi sila tinanggal. Yung lang mga doon, parang ang galing nila kasi kaya sila ni-renew. And maybe this Sebastian is one of them. Okay. Probably. Di ba dapat natanggal na sila?
Itong sinasabi nitong kaibigan, di ba itong sinasabi mong kaibigan mo, masaya siya pagka ang mga masaya siya pagka ang gobyerno ay nag-i-employ ng mga ganyan, kagaya ni Sebastian.
Hindi naman
Hindi
natin
nasasaya
masasabi.
niya yung bagay na yan.
Hindi naman
natin
natin
masasabi.
sinasabi. Hindi naman. Kasi yung mga yan, most of them are mga seso yan, mga yan eh. No? Some of them are seso. So hindi yan sila appointed. Hindi natin sure kung ano yan si Sebastian. Kung appointed ba yan siya or...
This friend of yours
Oo.
is would rather believe in suerte rather than believe that this president sees something that these people are capable of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yan.
We can definitely say that.
Yes, because hinahanap ko nga yung tingnan nyo na lang, wala naman ako ibang post ngayong araw na to. Nandun sa Twitter, sinabi ko di ba, si BBM kasi made a statement that is so presidential about the PNP's actions or yung sa war on drugs, yung sinasabi nila dyan, yung tinatanong kanina, ano ba yung directive? Merong directive. Tingnan nyo dun sa Twitter ko. And sabi ko doon, parang ang hirap paniwalaan nito. Ang hirap nito i-present. Kasi di mo malaman kung mga away ka ba o ano. Yun, obviously, they do not hear when the president says the right things. Just look at it.
Yes, they only hear because they have prejudged him as a liar and a thief.
Yun.
Sige, tapusin na natin ito. Malapit na ito
Ma'am,
matapos.
sorry, sundutin ko lang po yung
Sundutin
sinabi
mo
niyo,
na.
ma'am, ngayon.
Sundutin mo na.
On that particular thing po na, that alone, alam nilang illegal, hindi naman to baguhan ng mga nasa SRA. Okay. But even if, ma'am, siyempre may mga tao po sa paligid nila. So, that alone po ba, hindi siya makukonsider na talagang since alam natin na illegal yon, hindi ba yun magiging dahilan para automatic naman sa academic, alis ka dyan kasi naging irresponsible tayo.
Pero naniniwala din ang presidente sa due process.
Ayun.
Tingnan natin kung ano ang dahilan, kung bakit minadali nila ito. Nag-convince sila na walang kaalam-alam ang presidente and bibigyan sila ng pagkakataon i-explain yung panig nila. Pagka hindi satisfactory yung kanilang mga explanations, then the appropriate penalties will be imposed.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sec?
Sige,
Okay. One more, Miss Tuesday New.
Tuesday New. GMA din to.
Hi ma'am, pahabol lang ma'am. Gusto lang naming malaman ma'am kung ano po ang status ngayon nitong si Yusek Leocadio Sebastian at saka itong si SRA Administrator, knowing na nagkaroon nga ng ganitong parang glitches dito sa ginawa nilang resolution. And kailan po kaya yung balak ni Presidente na kausapin sila o harapin sila?
Ang status nila, lahat po ng pumirma ay under investigation. Iintayin po natin today if a determination can be made na ma-issuean sila ng preventive suspension order habang tumutuloy yung investigasyon. Pero kung mabilis lang yung investigasyon, makakakita tayo ng mga replacements very soon.
Okay, thank you ma'am.
Last.
Last question, Michelle Gilan.
Last.
Follow-up lang po.
Sige po.
May photos po, ma'am, na na-upload sa Office of the President na social media page. Tama po ba na ang kasama po ni President Marcos kagabi ay si Undersecretary Leocadio Sebastian?
Photos. Iniisip ko kung ano kung Office of the President na page. Yes, and in fact, there was an opportunity for him to answer, albeit informally. So with an investigation, he has to formally answer.
So there was a possibility po na natakal po yung order na, yung recent order?
Yes, but primarily it was with the executive secretary. So like we said, the president was unaware of it. In fact, in-upload nang wala tayong kaalam-alam.
Do we have an info po sa naging discussion ni President Marcos at Undersecretary Sebastian?
None at the moment.
Thank you po.
Okay.
Maraming salamat, Secretary Trixie Cruz-Angeles and Malacanang Press Corps.
Alright, that's over. Tingnan muna natin yung yung credits dyan. That's it. Ito ba? Itong mga pirma nila, tingnan natin itong mga pirma.
All right. No, this is not the 4. This is the 3. Okay. When Attorney Trixie was saying that the president is a member there, not as president, but as he is chairperson as the DA secretary. It comes with this position as the DA secretary. Okay?
Yes. Exactly.
And
that is right.
And okay. So can the executive
Pero itong
secretary
pirma ni itong pirma nitong chairperson
this
dito.
This is for the number 3 Okay, William
I
Darian.
know.
As
does it look like
yung kahapon?
William Dar yung pirma na yan? Mukhang it's
I do not
Cecil
know.
or something like that.
I do not know if it is
Baka iba
Dar's
yung pirma dito.
signature din, ha? I do not know.
Oh.
But anyway, ano lang haka-haka lang haka-haka. The executive secretary acts on behalf of the president when he is in his capacity as the president.
Chief Secretary siya ng presidente. So,
Yes.
authorized ko siya ng presidente.
So is the executive secretary also authorized to interfere with other no other kumbaga ex-officio positions of other secretaries in other attached agencies and authorities in departments?
That is interesting. Kung pwede ba siyang mangialam, ibig sabihin, pwede niya
Kunwari hindi presidente Kunwari hindi presidente ang nakaupo as secretary, but another secretary. Like you, if you are the secretary and you are ex officio chairman of the three that the decision making body that will make that three fall or whatever. No. Can the executive secretary interfere with your position there?
By interfere, mean review your
No, like order your office, the other office where you are the ex officio chairman to do something as executive secretary.
Right?
Like for example,
well, my answer to that is definitely not.
Okay. So when the secretary is the president, pwede.
Hindi rin. I think that when the
Huwag na. Baka mag-inside decision na tayo nito.
Hindi.
Okay.
We do not know kung siya yung inassign. Kausapin mo nga muna yung secretary ngayon. That is a different delegation.
Yes.
That we do not know. That we do not know.
Yes. So kumbaga, maybe even the executive secretary has to clear himself, why he was interfering in that office's functions, ordering it to make a plan, an importation plan.
My understanding is this. My understanding of that is, again, this is context, hindi ito kasama doon sa sinabi ni Attorney Trixie Cruz-Angeles, na they were in the same meeting. The president and the executive secretary. Okay? And parang, sige, kausapin mo muna yung grupo doon kasi I am doing something else dito. I'm talking to another ganito, ganyan. So, pakitanong nga muna kung ano nang nangyayari dito. Bakit may order dyan sa media na nagpa-import sila. So, inutusan siya na kausapin mo muna kasi nandito siya ngayon, yung USEC ngayon. So, kausapin mo muna, tanungin mo doon at kung mag-submit sila ng plan. Tapos sinabihan niya ata siya ng executive secretary, Mr. President, meron na nga silang order nilik sa media. So, nagulat ang president, paano nangyari yan? Parang ganyan. Okay, so there is many pieces of
information. May naghahanap ng wig mo, pare. Yung wig mo daw.
Wig? Yung sa yun eh. Yung sa ito.
Hindi. Okay.
Sige,
alam mo
kasi yung wig suot mo last time.
Totoo yun.
Ganyan?
Okay, ganito kasi yun, we are fair here. We are fair, no? We will not hindi kami magkakaroon ng pagdadalawang isip kung kunwari may questionable din naman na ginagawa ang gobyerno or any officer for that matter. So, yun, medyo kaduda-duda, no? And magandang opportunity. Tingnan mo, no? Napakaganda ng handling na investigasyon muna bago yung akusasyon at saka yung pagtatanggal.
Tama.
Di ba?
Kasi,
Huwag yung cancel culture.
Tama. Kasi nga, yung gagawin na yun na walang due process will support the allegation that this president is the dictator, that he will be the judge, jury, and executor ng lahat ng tao dito sa Pilipinas. Which is clearly dispelled by what is actually going on and what the press secretary is saying. So
yeah, it's so disappointing for them.
So you will see that this is a very disappointing thing for them because this is a counter instance to their allegation that this government and this president is a monster.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of disinformation going on, and there is no freedom of speech.
Yes. Isipin mo, walang freedom of speech dito sa ating bansa, pero ang basis ng mga tanong nila ay sabi-sabi.
And they do not get any sanction for it, no? Nothing.
Yes. That's right.
Yep.
Okay.
So mamayang gabi, anong topic natin?
Yan yung topic natin mamayang gabi. Sige. Maganda. Maganda.
Mamayang gabi mag-shakes tayo.
Siguro mayroon ng ilaw mamaya dito, maliwanag na dahil napakadilim po dito sa aking kwarto ngayon.
Para kang nasa log cabin. Caveman ang dating, no?
That is correct. And that is the effect of the removal of sound
dampeners
devices from the wall.
Alright.
Kasi tinikit yata ng rugby yan, tinanggal yun, pinagkaganyan.
Kaya tayo ay pumunta na muna sa...
How do you do that?
Ha?
How do you do that?
Background?
Okay. Tulog sa ganun ba? Sige.
Hindi. So, okay, everyone, we hope you know what's going to come out in the news tomorrow. And you know the twist, how it will be twisted. So, expect. What did Inquirer want to do with that question about the disinformation during the elections? And you can bet on it, mga 50 pesos na hindi Inquirer ang maglalabas ng issue na yan. Nagpapalitan yan sila. Yep.
Yung nagtanong, hindi yun ang magpapublish.
Hindi siya.
So they are mutual agents of each other.
Yep. Like si English girl, she will not even be publishing what she asked about.
So this is good. Para pa lang ang nature nitong press briefing ay parang parang executive session that they can be as stupid as they are or as stupid as they can be or they want to be. And some other person writes it the following day.
Para hindi naman siya mumukanta nga doon sa kanya susulat.
Which is now a clear indication that they would probably be very disappointed to see this video stream.
Or kung sino man yung mga nandito kagabi, there is an editorial conglomeration meeting at the tall tower in the suburbs. At the tall building in the suburbs. No! Yung naman nandito, papadala ko mga lakay. Ikaw ba Pinay Paparazzi? But hindi ka nagpadala sa akin ng address mo. Papadala kita ng ticket. So, bye-bye sa inyo. Music.
Salamat po sa pakikinig.
Music. Wait lang. Saan ba yun na attorney? Taas.
Ginagawa mo. Pang-porn na tayo. Pang-porn niya.